enough people to believe in you, you can do anything. But until you make those 100 cold calls, until you go and get told to f off on the phones, you're not really gonna know if this business is for you and if you can handle it. Implementing it,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, it's one of the most exciting moments of my life and history that I've personally ever felt. There's never been a tool that I've felt can 10x or 100x my capabilities as a person like artificial intelligence, like AI can do. I'm a hardworking, lazy person. I want to figure out how to automate my whole job so that I can do whatever I want whenever I want it. That is literally why I do this stuff. Any middleman business, the physics of middleman business is to not have the middleman, right? Every person optimizing human progress is taking out the middleman, and a brokerage is a middleman.
We're sitting down and talking with Taylor Avakian. It's a really good one, especially if you're into all things real estate, brokerage, and someone who's really kind of grabbed the bull by the horns of creating their own content platform. Taylor's got his patter down. He's good at what he does. Let's hear what he has to say. We talk about the future of things. Okay. And so I'm curious to get a broker's take on the real estate world. And you say you want to, or you're nothing's off limits.
Nothing's
in
off
terms
limits.
of what we could talk about.
Whatever you want.
All right. So let's start off with something simple. What value do brokers actually create in real estate?
Man, that's a great question. So much value. And I'm going to lean on the table because this is.
Please do. I mean, put your body into it.
I know,
that's what
man.
It gives a good answer.
This is how I get. I'm leaning.
I've
into
seen
this
your
question.
LinkedIn posts.
Oh,
so I've seen when you lean in.
You know when I get into it. So, what value do real estate agents and brokers provide to transactions? It's so much more than just putting a buyer and seller together. Like when you've done a transaction, sometimes you're the type of personality where cool, calm, collected. They relay information, you get the information, you relay it back to them, they do it. It doesn't feel like there's really any contentiousness. That's maybe 5% of the deals that happen. The other 95%, there's emotions on top of emotions, on top of negotiations, on top of, I want to get one over on this person. Oh no, I need to feel like I'm getting the best deal. Well, we got to make sure both you guys feel like you're getting the best deal. So it's really, it's really being able to control emotions, being able to control a transaction and make something happen. Because what you realize when you are around really good agents and then not so good agents is really good agents know how to make a deal happen. Like there's this art.
How many of them are there
science.
actually though?
Well,
it seems like
less than you would like. Less than you would like because it's not that
that's
difficult.
A good answer.
Yeah.
Less than you would like.
Yeah.
That was
it's easier to get your real estate license, right? And so it's the barriers to entry to want to become a real estate agent where there's the part-timer who does deals for their friends or they want to do it for their husband or I don't know, 1-2 deals a year to make some extra income. Like that's more prevalent than not. But the ones who take it full time and do this thing legit, like there are skill sets that separate those from the ones who are just doing it part time. And until you've been involved in a transaction like that, you realize what goes into it. Mm-hmm. But it's like any other business. You have to be really good at people. You have to be really good at operations. You have to be really good at 8 different parts of the transaction because what people don't realize, and I made a little video about this, is like there's so many wins that have to happen in a real estate transaction to make it work. Like,
yeah, give me some.
I'll put my 8 fingers up that I just did this video on. Win number 1, I have to meet with an owner and convince them to meet with me when they want to sell, right? That's a win.
That's a cold lead.
Cold lead.
I
got a cold lead to convert to that. Then I got to convince them that the price of the value of their building is what it is, right? If I do that, then it's a win. Then I got to convince them that my commission is what commission is charging is something that they're willing to pay. Right? Then we go on the market and I got to convince a buyer that they're willing to pay the price that I think this market is, right? Then they do their investigations, their discovery, whatever. And I got to go convince the seller that the credit that this person is asking for to get the deal done is valid, right? Or it's not. And to do that, right? Then we got to convince when the appraiser comes to do the loan that the value is what it is, that we're saying it. So that's a win if we do that. Then we got to close and there's more problems and other issues that come up and all that kind of stuff. And then the money hits the account and then everyone's got to feel like they won. So there's so many different wins that have to happen and you could do 7 of those and the last one doesn't work and all of that was for nothing, right?
You're the way you just did that, it's like, I've seen you obviously record your podcast.
Yeah.
You've gotten a lot better. Not that you were bad,
Yeah.
but your patter is good now.
Oh, wow.
Like,
Thank you.
because, I mean, you rattled them off.
Yep.
Clearly you talk about them. You got your patter. I mean, so let me ask you another question that kind of goes with it. We'll jump around a little bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, does a broker need to be a content platform now?
Ooh.
Because it helps, does it not?
It 100% helps.
In immeasurable ways.
Yeah. Yeah. It's,
You interviewed Mikey Taylor,
I know.
and there's the backstory there, and now he's mayor
Yep.
of Sherman, and
Of,
he has a lot of content.
yeah, Woodland Hills or Sherman Oaks,
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that, right? Yeah, no, it's been incredible, the doors that it's been able to open for me, and more from a sentiment of what every broker wants to do is be top of mind for a seller. Like for someone who wants to do a transaction, a buyer or a seller, they want to be the person that they think of when they want to make that transaction. And so what social does is it allows you to be in more places at once and be more top of mind for these people who every human being you probably know in the world, at least you're in a first world or second world country, is on social media. And so I think that's been really immeasurably valuable to me when it comes to the social stuff. To answer your question though, no, you do not have to be on social to be a successful broker. There's a ton of brokers who I know who are silent, deadly
But
killers.
how old are those brokers?
They're-
Did they, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they've been in the business for a very long time.
Okay, so that's different because they're almost the incumbents, right?
Yeah.
So if you're coming up, right?
Yes.
Somebody's watching you going, man, I like the way Taylor does his business. And because we'll talk about your
Yeah.
ventures in AI,
Yeah.
how are they? So let's say you're the incumbent in 20
Uh-huh.
years. How is the next batch going to do what you're doing
Yeah.
or do what brokers can do to be successful?
Yeah. They have to do something that we know is going to be valuable to people, whether that's information or entertainment or whatever, right? To get in front of them that I'm too lazy to do because I'm resting on my laurels or my relationships that I
You're
built.
already planning it like you're
No,
gonna get
but like
lazy
that's-
once I hit this number.
I mean, think about it. If there's certain real estate agents who've been in the game for a very long time,
Yeah.
they're worth tens of millions of dollars. Like they have their clients that come to them every year to do $100 or $200 million a deal. They make $3 to $4 million a year without really doing a bunch of prospecting. It's just managing clients. They don't have to do all this stuff if they don't want to.
What about Jay? What's his last? How do you pronounce?
Jay Lux.
Dude, that guy.
Yeah. Yeah. He jams, man. Some people are just built like that where that's what they want to do. You know, solo lifestyle, just do deals and business and constantly out and about and getting stuff done.
Because I've heard he'll put his sign up on places that have already been sold or whatever,
Yeah.
and he'll pay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's marketing. It's like putting up a billboard.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the story.
It's pretty creative.
I wanted to chat with him about that if that's true, but I heard that too, where when he was first starting out, he'd pay landlords to put a sign for lease in their units. And I don't know if that's true, so don't hold me to that. But genius marketing.
I mean, it's smart because if you're not doing content,
Yeah,
that's one way you did it back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the equivalent.
exactly. And that's the one thing that I dislike about multifamily. What I do is because no one wants to know you're selling a building.
Wait, why?
'Cause
Oh,
they don't want
I
the
get what you're
tenants
saying.
to know that they're selling the building because then tenants cause issues and lawsuits and all this kind of stuff.
So as a broker,
I can't put my sign up.
but as a broker, do you have to? Is that part of your job too? Is to deal with
Yeah,
that
of course. With tenants,
collateral damage?
yeah, all of that. If we get a lawsuit,
crisis management.
if we get a lawsuit when we're in escrow, like that's blowing up the deal. It's not happening.
So educate me a little bit on this because I haven't seen it from the broker stand, only from a buyer standpoint. When you're
Yeah.
buying a multifamily, if a property owner wants to sell their property, they
Yeah.
come to you. Why is tenants going to get together and say do anything if it just goes up for sale? Nothing else happens. It just goes up for sale.
For whatever reason they want to. Literally. Could be
Damn.
because they don't want to pay their rent. Okay, let's come together. There's some turmoil. Maybe we could take advantage of this transitionary period, whatever it is. Or we've been waiting for something so that they got to give us something, right? They need to sell this building. So they're going to fix whatever it is or do this for us here. Like you don't want people knowing. I've been an insurance agent, man. I've been an adjuster. I've been when I walk these properties.
I mean, you're playing those roles because you kind of have. No, I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
now.
Like
Yeah.
I got to put on. I'm a part of the insurance. Oh, I'm just here with insurance. Like whatever it is, because you don't want to shake and rattle a deal up for multifamily. Retail, it's like it's a tenant, right?
Yeah.
It's business.
Those are different beasts.
It's a different beast, right? And you can have your sign everywhere. That's the one thing I'm jealous about. I can't have my sign anywhere. So I don't get that.
Is there a size of multifamily where you see it happen more
No.
often? So it doesn't matter if it's 5 units
No one's putting a sign
or
out.
100 units.
No,
Doesn't matter.
no one's putting a sign outside saying it's for
Damn.
sale.
How many deals have you seen that kill?
I mean, thank goodness not a ton, but we've had deals where pre-selling it, there's been lawsuits, so we've had to get figured out. It's like we can't sell this until this gets shaken up. Or there's some stuff that's currently happening and it's for sale, and they're like, the buyer says, I don't want to buy this until those get resolved, and you're like, fucking hands in the pockets waiting for.
Or do they buy it on
Or
content
it's-
or
Yeah.
as a way to get a discount?
Yeah, exactly. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Or the insurance companies are going to pay for it, or you're indemnified from it. So there's a bunch of different techniques and ways, but it doesn't make the deal any easier effectively. So the least amount of headaches that we have to deal with in terms of the tenants and stuff, the better, typically with a transaction.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it makes sense when you say it, but the fact that you can and you don't get paid.
No.
Like none of this, it's almost like you're doing this work in the hope of that promise that you'll close this deal and get paid.
Oh, brother.
Because if you could do how much work?
Yeah. I'm the most highly paid, underpaid person that I think is in existence from business.
I think from a person from the outside looking in, if they heard you say it, like, you're full of shit.
Yeah.
You're making pods. I see you posting on social media
Yep.
going, you close these deals. They don't want to hear the story. You
They
know
don't
what
want
I
to
mean?
hear it. They
They're
don't
like,
want to.
here's the smallest violin type jokes.
Like if I had a camera
Uh-huh.
24/7, and maybe I should do this because it would, I don't know if I could, I'd have to figure out how to mute conversations, but effectively you'd see me work 80 hours a week to 100 hours a week, making $0 for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks on end. And then one day I get paid. And for the first year I was in the business, it was 12 months of me working 80 to 100 hours a week, making $0. At the end of that year, I made $50,000.
So how'd you live?
Thank God I had about $12,000 in savings and basically lived on nothing. I lived
was
on a
just gonna say,
mattress in a room with 8 adults in it. Literally, like I got one of those bare mattresses, put on the ground. I was in the office again 24/7, so I just was doing that and living on protein shakes and fucking snacks at the office, dude. Like,
That's why you were bulkier.
yeah, exactly. That was literally how I got so big during that time. But that's what I had to do. Like I was college. I was kind of just had come out of college anyways, and I went to school in Alabama. I remember my allowance my parents gave me, $400 a month. I lived on $400 a month in college.
In where? Alabama.
Alabama.
Where in Alabama? Birmingham?
No, Tuscaloosa,
Okay.
where the college is. But like, I can't even imagine living on $400 a month now. I'm like, how is that even possible? I don't even get, even in Alabama today, I don't know how it's possible. So you just find a way.
In your youth, at those times you're just able to pull some shit.
Yeah, you just like, those pennies go a real long way, man.
Damn.
Yeah.
Would you invest in Alabama?
It's a good question. I'd have to look deeper into
Actually,
it.
I should ask you first. Are you an investor of real estate?
I am. Yep. And I want to become more of an investor and invest in more properties.
Because not all brokers or real estate agents are.
Yeah, no, I know. And I think it's silly if you don't, because of the tax benefits that we're given. Like the tax code is written for full-time real estate investors to write off their depreciation on their ordinary income, which is the commissions. So literally I get a tax break for buying real estate, which would behoove me to want to go and invest in real estate rather than giving it to the government. So I think when you start to make a certain amount of money, it really becomes you have to invest in real estate. Otherwise, you're kind of throwing money away.
Oh,
at
I
the end of the
agree.
day, you
Yeah.
know? And so I'm invested in some deals and constantly looking with some buddies and some friends and some other principals and rolling commission into those deals
Okay.
that we do. So
So what do you invest? What is the investment vehicles that you do? Do you do REITs, syndicates, your own deals?
individual syndicated deals
Okay.
mostly. So individual one-off, typically multifamily
I was
investments.
just going to ask you.
because that's what I know, and I know what a good deal is and a bad deal, and in between a so-so deal.
Any particular area right now?
Right now it's LA. Yeah,
Oh, really?
It's LA. Mm-hmm. Yep. Just because I know this like the back of my hand.
I get it.
Yeah, I know when I see a deal that this is a deal. I'm buying this for less than what it's worth. Like that is the deal that I typically try to buy as a real estate agent, is I want to know if I bought this today, I could sell it tomorrow for more money.
So you're doing appreciation plays or cash flows?
Well, just immediately on the buy, I'm
Okay.
buying appreciation because I think the value is different. But how can I take it from $1 to $2 in 18 months? Like is it possible to do that in this deal? How would I do it? Do I have the infrastructure, and do I feel like all of the data that comes together with the rents in the building and the neighborhood, can I make that occur? Like my goal when I buy a property is I want to pull my money out in like 12 to 18 months. That would basically through a refinance.
I was
That's
just going to
that's
ask
the
you what
goal.
was the vehicle you're going to use
Yeah,
to
through a
pull your money.
refinance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you like what Bigger Pockets has become famous for pushing the BRRRR method?
In the beginning, I used to listen to Bigger Pockets before I even got into real estate, just to kind of educate myself. I have not been following that, and since I started in commercial real estate.
Put the BRRRR method up on the
Yeah.
thing, Brandon. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Do you guys do graphics?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick. I
Yeah.
should do some graphics. Dang
It'd
it.
look even better on
I
you.
was gonna say, man. Okay, guys,
Because
editors.
there's so much acronyms.
So much.
and-
Yeah, dude. I should totally do that. I should totally do graphics. That makes a ton of sense for new investors who need
Mhm.
a base and understanding it. When you get to the level of doing this for almost a decade, you know most of the nuance that comes with deals and how to make money and how the financing works, because so much of what we do is tied to debt.
Okay.
Real estate is so debt heavy of an industry that it really moves with the tides and swings with where the debt markets are going. It's a macroeconomic business. And so there's so many nuances to that from an individual, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to renovate it, rehab, refinance, and then go do it again. Like very simple, acronym formula, right? But when it becomes to doing a lot of these bigger deals, there's other nuances. There's an A plan, a B plan, a C plan. That's not just BRRRR. So I think it's the nuance of doing this stuff professionally that you start to realize there's many different ways to make money in the business.
No, it's one of the things I loved about learning real estate. Even though I learned it later in life, it helps you with any business as long as you stay curious, right, and
Yeah.
open-minded, because it teaches you what are my exit plans?
Yeah.
Because it's never just one. You
Mhm.
have to figure out multiple ways because there's so many scenarios, right?
Yep.
So because we like talking about what can the future of anything be like, we're
Yeah.
talking about real estate. You're a broker. You went to college for what?
Finance, and I got a minor in real estate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think in the future people are going to have to do that? Because if you're putting out a lot of content that's very informative,
Mhm.
do you really have to go to college to do what you're doing now in 10 years from now? You know what I mean?
No one has to go to college to be a real estate agent. No one has to go to college to be a real estate agent. I will tell you that for sure. To be good at real estate, you have to do real estate. That is always, in my opinion, going to be the case.
You definitely learn it. And the
There's
people, the players.
Yeah, there's not enough videos or education or anything that could make up for the fact of actually doing the work. Like there's nothing that will replace that. You can learn everything under the sun from me, from Grant Cardone if you like him, from Hormozy, from whoever business guru or successful person you want to, Tony Robbins. Like you can learn everything from them. But until you go and do the work and see what it's like from a day-to-day perspective, where 90% of it is bullshit that you have to deal with all the time, you're not going to understand the nuances of the sequence of how the business actually
Do you
works.
think you can teach the bullshit?
But you can teach the bullshit, but it's like, have you heard the analogy of some people feel better than they listen? Have you heard that before?
Oh, so in hospitality, it's like people won't always remember what you say or what you do, but they remember how you make them feel.
Yes.
So it goes in line with that.
Yes. So it's like the story of, the kid who's like, hey, don't put your hand on the stove. It's hot, right? You're going to burn yourself if you put your hand on the stove. And there's that one kid who has to touch the stove and burn himself to know
To
that,
learn.
okay, I shouldn't touch the stove, right? He can't, he feels better than he listens. And so I think a lot of what this industry is I can tell you what it's like. I can tell you what goes into it. I can tell you that making 100 cold calls a week is tough and hard and rejection sucks. And you're going to have to do it. But until you make those 100 cold calls, until you go and get told to fuck off on the phones, you're not really going to know if this business is for you and if you can handle it.
It's true. I'm having like a montage moment of my mind when you're talking right now. And it does. That's how you build thick skin.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
You build that resilience because, to the point you don't even hear fuck off anymore. You're like,
Mhm.
okay, cool. Can we have the negotiation
Yeah.
now that you've told me no?
I love this. I got super nerdy into sales and the sequencing and the questions and stuff. And there's, I think this video of this guy, and he's like, and that's exactly the reason why I called you. I'm not selling my building. Fuck off. And that's exactly the reason that I called you. He just like moved past it like nothing ever happened. Just boom.
When you were nerdy in sales, what do you mean? Did you read the book like getting to yes or starting with no?
All of them. Every
or
single
never split the
sales book.
difference?
Every single sales book you've ever heard, I've read. Literally every single one.
What? So, how long ago would you say you were really kind of 10 toes in that?
3 to 4 years ago.
Does any of it really apply today to you?
Yep. 100%.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. What are some golden nuggets? Give some of these nuggets.
Yeah, listening. Listening is huge, right? Sounds dumb, but you really have to listen. Statements versus questions.
Okay.
So you can make a statement which is leading a person to actually answering a question versus asking a question.
Give it to me.
So, so all of this comes down to psychology. So everything in sales, everything in human-to-human interactions is dialed into psychology and human and understanding how humans interact with each other, right? And so there's different phrases and tonality, and you know that person who's really good at connecting with people and becomes friends with everyone versus the person who's kind of the loner in the room. That's people skills and human skills. And sales is just that in a unique vehicle tailored towards an outcome of a goal, which is a sale. And so it comes down to understanding the psychology of who's on the other side of the table, what their personality is, how they feel certain things, how they listen. Are they kinesthetic? Are they
kinesthetic?
Yeah, like movement oriented.
Oh, interesting. I've not a word necessarily in my
Some people
Rolodex all the time.
you'll when you really get super nerdy in this, some people use verbs different ways. So they talk about, well, I feel like it, to me, it feels, or it's like this feeling thing versus I hear what you're saying, listen, then it's auditory. And then I'm seeing it this way, I'm seeing it that way, then they're a visual learner. So you can start to see what people prefer and then tailor your pitch to the type of person they are, right? Which is that psychology aspect and what those Jedi mind salespeople, which I'm nowhere near. But there's people like Chase Hughes, who's been on a lot of podcasts. He has some incredible work on body language and leading conversations. Chris Voss, I think, still some of the lessons in there. I love Chris Voss, mirroring, labeling.
Mirroring and labeling.
Yeah,
the
super
packaging
powerful,
of it.
super
But he
valuable.
even says in that book, Never Split the Difference, a lot of it he got from starting with no.
Yeah.
But if you've read Starting with No, it's a harder read.
Yeah.
It doesn't, you just roll off the tongue the same way.
Totally. Yeah. Like, it sounds like there's a reason you said that.
It's interesting. Yeah, because you've learned to package yours.
That's Chris Voss.
Yes.
Right? It works. It's good.
Shit does, man.
I know.
My partner in all the real estate stuff will be on the phone, and he'll know because we both were introduced to Chris Voss's book at the same time. And so we'll be on the phone with each other to this day. And this was, I don't know, however many years ago. And he'll be like, dude, stop it. Stop it.
You're Chris Voss in me right now.
I'm sorry. But you slip into it because if you're doing it long enough, it just becomes part of your pattern.
Exactly. And that's the goal with really, really special salespeople or really, really good human connectors. And sometimes they can't articulate what they're doing. They just do it naturally. But I had a coach once, he told me, he goes, you need to be so good at reading the script that I could throw a bucket of water on you in the middle of the night and you could say it and it would not sound like a script. Like, that's how good you have to be getting at these phrasing and how to talk through these situations and answer these questions, because that's what it takes to be world class.
So how do you do it?
Practice, reps.
Where do you practice?
After work, in the morning, like practicing different scenarios. I've read cold call scripts. Oh my gosh, like hundreds and hundreds and not thousands of hours practicing the tonality of how I'm going to say this, or when this question comes up, how am I going to reverse that question? Like any scenario on my pitch, when I go through my slide decks, like here's what's going to happen. Here's what they're going to say. Here's how I go through it. When this comes, I'm going to do these 17 different types of reverses I have options to. Like, it's that level of like professionalism that goes into. There's not going to be a scenario that I don't know how to overcome and figure out. That is a level that you want to get to.
I know you're doing this because you make money doing this.
Yeah.
But it seems like you enjoy it.
I do.
Like, you look like you're enjoying just talking about doing it.
The psychology of the psychology of humans is fascinating to me. I kind of wish I studied psychology in school because...
But you're learning it boots on the ground. So it's...
Yeah.
You just don't have the phrase that they use for when you go to school and you learn the nomenclature of whatever that
Yes.
subject matter is.
Yeah, and I think this comes from a insecurity of I never felt like I was a natural at connecting with people.
Okay.
And so when you don't feel like you're good at something, you want to get good at it. You're like, "Wait, why am I not?"
Some people do.
So well, some
A
people
lot of
do.
people
I
run away from
guess,
that shit,
yeah,
man.
I'm the type of personality where if I suck at something, I want to get better at it for the
Okay.
most part.
Well, good for you.
And especially as humans, because everything we do is in humans, whether that's in business or personal
Yeah.
relationships. So that just was something that I was like, oh my gosh, I can unlock this level that I don't feel I'm confident in, and
Yeah.
it'll give me confidence, you know? So that was something that drives me and became a fascination for me.
You don't say the word like a whole lot.
I catch myself doing it often, but I have some younger siblings and oh my goodness, when you listen and hear
Yeah.
them talking, their nomenclature that they don't even understand the ticks that they have, it's every other word.
Well, I mean, and so communicating, right? 'Cause a lot of
Yes.
this is just communication.
Yeah.
That's why text messages, it's like it or not, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
And you got to learn to communicate that
Yeah.
way
Yep.
so much. And
Mhm.
deals get done through text messages. And you're just like, we could do this so much better,
Yep.
even just over a phone call.
Yep.
But if the other party that's making the decision, it's hard, isn't
That's
it?
the vehicle they wanna communicate with. You have to learn how to adapt to that vehicle.
So, talking about adapting, it's a great
Yeah.
segue into AI.
Uh-huh.
Let's just start off with what are your thoughts on it? And then share how you're already kind of trial and erroring it.
Implementing it. Oh
Yeah.
my
Implement.
gosh. It's one of the most exciting moments of my life and history that I've personally ever felt. And the way and the reason that I say that is because there's never been a tool that I've felt can 10x or 100x my capabilities as a person like artificial intelligence, like AI can do. And it's just about understanding how to get the tool to do what you want because the capabilities are there. As of right now, the capabilities of doing what my job is are there. But with the nuance of all of the uniqueness and the A, B's, if then, if that statements kind of stuff, if this happens, then that is where it gets super difficult to start to do it. And so I'm super bullish on, I think that artificial intelligence is going to completely change how we interact on a business to business level, on a human to human level, for better or for worse. I think there'll be parts of us that gets closer because we're just going to want to have more human interactions because a
Hmm.
lot of the other mundane kind of boring stuff is going to be handled by the agents talking to each other. And we're going to be programming, which in my eyes actually feels like a creative outlet because it's almost like the conductor conducting the symphony,
Hmm.
right? He has to be able to know where the notes are and conduct a bunch of these things working together. But if he's not doing that, then those things aren't going in sequence and they're not syncing together to sound like a beautiful symphony. And so I think what a lot of humans are going to be doing is being the orchestrator of these agents that individual people are going to be making. That's going to be the creative art of how am I going to sync them up together.
What are some of the tools you use? Because I mean, when you talk, I'm thinking cursor.
All of it.
Like there's so many now, and it
Everyone,
seems like they're all popping up.
my AI bill is stupid. It is stupid. I'm on
Why
all
is it
the
so
max
much?
plans because I'm using them all. I'm constantly maxing out. I'm building all the time.
Have you tried? And this is one of the things we started doing. We started seeing our bill go up.
Yeah.
Script so that it's tokenless. So we have one model script for, let's say, an Opus lane,
Yep.
right? A higher end Opus lane.
Yep.
We have it script for a lower sonnet lane.
Okay.
It scripts a high frequency repetitive task so that it does 0 tokens.
Interesting.
So you're scripting those high frequency things.
You mean like Python script?
Well, yeah, it could use Python. It could
Okay.
use, depending upon which language it wants to
Okay.
use, because if you have a dedicated machine, let's say you're using something like OpenClaw or
Yeah.
Hermes, right?
Yeah.
You can do it so that if you have high repetition, you're now just reducing your burn.
Tokenless.
And
Yeah.
then loops will kill you.
Yep.
And everything that gets updated, you think, oh, it's working this week. That doesn't mean it's going to work the same next
No,
week,
it
especially.
is
Like, what are
super
some of the things
frustrating
that you've already seen in just working with it?
that just because it makes something and it thinks the next best step is what it thinks the next best step is, does not mean it's the next best step. It'll overcomplicate things that don't need to be overcomplicated, and it could go from A to Z by just like walking across the street, but it decides it's going to run around Manhattan first and then go to Z.
It's so I feel that
And
pain.
you're like, wait,
Yeah,
why didn't
yeah.
you just go across the street? Like we just had to walk across the street, but it wanted to go do all this other stuff. So, and that's the problem with me is I'm not technical whatsoever. And so I don't understand what's actually happening behind the scenes. I know enough now because I've been frustrated enough to be like, wait, what are you doing? What is this? What is, Python, and what is a CLI terminal, and what is all this stuff? I had to learn all of it,
Yeah.
right? Serena script. Like, what is Serena? I don't even know. So that is part of the learning curve of messing around and doing it, which I tell everyone, just fuck around and
Yeah.
and you have to do it.
But you're curious enough to try it.
Yeah.
You're open-minded enough
Because I'm
to try.
lazy, bro. I'm
That doesn't sound lazy, though.
No, I'm a hardworking, lazy person. I want to figure out how to automate my whole job so that I can do whatever I want whenever I want it. That is literally why I do this stuff.
So you do like Hermosa. He always talks about process too.
Yeah,
So you like that mentality, right?
100%. I want to build every little teeny step so that I can give this to someone or delegate. Like people are like, oh, I would never delegate. I want to delegate everything, man. Don't let me do anything that I don't want to do.
So if the future is
Yeah.
hyper delegation by like almost solo artists,
Yeah.
there was some stat I saw on some YouTube video essay that shows that bands, hardly any bands are in the Billboard Top 100. It's all solo artists. And it's
Oh, wow.
become that way because of our social media
Interesting.
way of doing things. But it's not just music.
Mhm.
It reverberates through all things that humans do to create value.
Mhm.
And so when people are talking about losing their jobs to AI, it's like, well, maybe we just need to figure out new ways to create value as humans. You're talking about it as a conductor, which makes total sense that humans, that's the next evolution of value.
Yeah.
But if you're delegating and creating systems that effectively are multipliers of an individual, what does that look like for the future of individuals
Very
working with
true.
this? I'm curious to get your take on that.
That is above my pay grade in terms of longevity. I'm a big believer of effectively it's like I'm going to bend the world to my reality.
Yeah.
Whatever
Okay,
comes
I've heard
at
that.
me,
Yeah.
I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to have this just like will to do whatever happens. So if AI becomes super difficult, like I'm going to figure out a way to get around that or get in front of it before it happens. Or I'm not going to. I have free will to choose and get through a challenge. I'm not just going to have shit happen to me. I'm going to go full force against whatever's coming at me. That's just the way that I have my personality. I don't want to play a victim ever. Like I'm going to figure out a way
But
to
what's your motivation to do it? Because creating systems and
child
doing this.
trauma. I don't know, man.
Well, because again, you're doing your profession as a way to make money,
Yeah.
but you find joy in it.
Yeah.
And it seems like you're doing things you don't have to do,
Yeah.
but you're choosing to optimize them and do them in these ways. What's motivating that to be done?
It's not the vehicle, so it's not the real estate that I enjoy. It's the actual stuff
yeah.
that happens to create this in whatever industry it is. It's the creation of this better mousetrap. I would say whatever I do, I just want to be better at it than someone else or create a different way or a unique spin on it. That's what I enjoy. Creating novelty is what fuels me up. And right now, my vehicle just happens to be real estate and the podcast and stuff like that. But whatever industry it would be, it's how do I build a better mousetrap? How do I build the system different or uniquely, or just that fuels me to get up in the morning and go do the hard shit.
So what fueled you to do what you did on Skool?
The community?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was
Skool.
Yes. Yeah, correct. So we started this AI community like 2 years ago, year and a half ago. And it was one of those things where it felt like, I wonder if there's an opportunity here. Like, I wonder if we can I was already learning it. I was already taking advantage of trying to be a front runner and mover in the system. In the beginning, it was just like, okay, can we teach a bunch of people and were they willing to pay for that?
Who's we, real quick?
I had a partner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Had.
They kind of run the day-to-day now,
Okay.
and I'm a little bit on the back end of
Okay.
it because I'm focusing on a lot of the brokerage stuff. But when we started it, it's, okay, can we build a community? Are people willing to pay and learn what we're learning? Can we teach them? And is that something they find valuable? And then it started to become, okay, yes, people will pay for it. They want to learn it. We're leading the charge. We're going to teach them because I get better at it and they get better at it, and money is exchanged, which is great. And then it became, okay, now that we have all these people, like we're starting to make connections. So can you leverage that into different opportunities? Does it become a private equity company because all these startups who are in prop tech and AI, they come to you because they want to beta test their stuff or get
Oh,
user
that's it. It
feedback?
makes sense that they would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're creating this community, right? For them
Yep.
to come in here and say, hey, I have this idea. Can all of you guys who are interested in AI and real estate, like mess around with it and see if it's a good idea or get new customers? Like we could drive customers to their thing. So you start to be able to leverage that. And then these private equity companies would be like, oh, these guys have a bunch of young companies that we want to invest in and do that. So once you started to realize the power of the community, what you're building, then the thought process was, okay, what are the other vehicles that you can get stacked on top of this? What's the highest leverage? I think about that all the time, which is something I struggle with, which is why I think about it all the time is what is the biggest bottleneck or the most important thing that I should be doing at this moment that maybe isn't the immediate fire that's burning, but is the biggest fire that if I put out will allow me to jump 20 steps ahead instead of one step ahead. And I struggle with identifying that a lot of
Yeah.
times because there's so many things that could happen. But there is always that one thing that if you just solve that, all the other shit would be less important. And it's a question that I constantly ask myself, am I doing the most important thing right now?
How old are you?
I just turned 30 on Friday.
Did you really?
Yeah,
Happy
man.
birthday.
Thank you.
And you should be hyped that you, in my opinion,
Yeah.
that you're already forward thinking in this way
Thank
because
you.
it just, yeah, it seems like it's going to be even funner ride for
I
you.
appreciate that, man.
Yeah, because the questions you're asking, I don't know if people are self-aware enough to ask themselves that even into their 60s. So I'm happy for you.
I was an
Yeah.
introspective kid. And
Okay.
so with introspection and introversion when you're little, you spend a lot of time in your head,
Yeah.
right? And so for me, I've always had a great ability to have self-awareness because you're constantly being self-aware of your surroundings and what you're doing. So that's never been a problem for me. And looking back on it, you thought it was a weakness, right? Because you're so introverted and speaking internally. But now that I've grown into the abilities, become a little bit more extroverted, became more confident in who I am, that skill set still allows me to stack all these new skills on top of it. And
Yeah.
so I'm grateful for that self-awareness that I've cultivated very early on.
Do you think they're going to, I don't know, identify and teach for it in the future in schools?
They should.
They should, huh?
Self-awareness is hugely valuable. And
Yeah.
you realize people when they don't have it and those who do. And like, man, dude, it is any look at anyone. What is meditation? It's self-awareness.
Do you practice meditation?
I wish I practiced it more. I've tried to get into it and it's tough. My brain is just like, and I'm a morning person. So
Yeah. Oh, I get the
I
morning
want to
person vibe. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a 4:30 a.m. like get working out and get into the office.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you're supposed to meditate in the morning. And I got to get my day started. So, and then when I get home, I'm exhausted and when I probably should meditate. So I just haven't found the right sequence of timing where I don't get anxious while I'm meditating, but I know I will.
But it seems like you're in this process of building anyway.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's just the way it is, right? You're putting in more time now, not just in your work, but
Yeah.
yourself. And you're just going to go through the phases of it all. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a endless optimizer, human optimization of myself, of everything that I do. I just want to optimize it.
You ever seen Deerdick's optimization thing? You know
Yeah,
what I'm talking about?
that's crazy.
That's crazy,
I don't have
huh?
enough operation skills to stick with that, but yes, it is
I've seen just snippets. I'm like, damn, man, do your thing. But
insane.
yeah, it's pretty
Insane.
cool.
Yeah.
So what do you think then? So you did the community with it. So it's still going, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
How do you see AI either reducing value of agents? Well, yeah, it will reduce the value of
Yeah.
agents, will it not? Or at least change it?
Yeah.
What are some of
100%.
the ways you're already seeing it?
I think the cream of the crop will rise to the top.
Okay.
That rhymed.
It did.
Cream of the crop rise to the top. I should be a rapper. No, I shouldn't. I think that the people who are already good at the business will
Yeah.
just win more business. And I think those who are not good and don't spend as much time in it are going to be just written off and like not get any business because the AI agents are going to basically do a better job than they are at those minimal kind of valuable equations. I don't know exactly how it's going to affect us because I think really smart, driven entrepreneurs, which is real estate agents, the good ones figure a way to mold to the new reality of what it is, whether
Mhm.
that's we're just dealing with consulting bases or we're literally just networking to try to build a base so that people want to like us and whatever it is, that's the value. Like we will adapt to whatever the valuable thing is that gets us to the goal of hopefully becoming the person that you trust with helping sell or buy real estate. Um, but some of the things that we do, like the back office stuff, or even some of the prospecting or creation of some social collaterals, or all this kind of stuff, like that may not be necessary anymore.
Mhm.
And hopefully, the people part, which I think is the most valuable part, will be the biggest part of the job. Is just being with people.
Do you ever think there'll be a representative agent as its own machine
100%.
talking to another one
Yeah,
to make the deal done?
totally. 100%.
Do you want that to happen?
No, but I think it's inevitable. I
What
think it's
makes you think it's
inevitable
inevitable?
because any middleman business is effectively the physics of middleman business is to not have the middleman, right? Every person optimizing
Yeah.
human progress is taking out the middleman, and a brokerage is a middleman if you think about it. So like
Yeah.
there will be people who are willing to communicate and sell, just like there's biohackers willing to test shit on themselves. There'll be people who are willing to sell and risk millions of dollars with AI agents because they trust that and they're the
Yeah.
first movers of that. And eventually, maybe in I don't know how long, it'll be more of the common man to communicate through that stuff. And maybe real estate agents look like a completely different job or they're non existent. I don't know. But I do know that there's always going to be this human element as long as the stakes are high enough. If the stakes are high enough, typically, so you're going to want a human involved somewhere in the process. And you just got to be that person. If you're going to be an agent or whatever the job title is, that you're going to be that human in the loop.
Yeah. No, when you talk about it that way, I remember we were trying to, when we were learning real estate too, we saw the lifespan of a deal, and there's all these different people in that process to go from acquisition or even finding to closing a deal or financing. You're like, they're all profit choppers.
Yeah.
So when you talk about it in that way, it makes a lot of sense that it would work in that fashion.
hmm
Yeah.
hmm
So what are you using AI, or what are you going to use AI for tomorrow? I know what you're using for today.
Yeah.
What are you going to use it for tomorrow? What are your plans to test with it?
Hyper-personalization at scale.
Okay.
That's the goal. Is just being more valuable to people more often
How does that still come off as authentic?
because I'm programming it and I'm creating what is valuable to that person. I deciding what is valuable to them.
Do you want to give me an example?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like some people want to know what's happening in their market.
Okay.
What properties are selling in their building, what for, what prices, so that they know. It's like a Zestimate. You want to know what your house is worth, right?
Estimates.
Yeah, I
Fucking
know, right?
things.
Those estimates. So imagine that I had the capabilities of whenever a sale happened that was relevant to you, it was packaged up pretty and put in a package that was specific to the way that you wanted to read that information, and that was super helpful to you, right? And I could do that for everyone who owns a building. I can't do that now. There's no possible way that I have the ability to do that as a human. Maybe I can go hire 25 people, but then it's not economic because I'm just adding value. I'm not, you can't make money from that immediately, right? There's no like a checkout wing. That's just literally giving, giving, giving. So I think it's going to allow me to give more in terms of valuable information, which is
Mhm.
really what I'm at, is a purveyor of information for these people until the sale happens at a very hyper personalized, unique to that person, on their personality, on the format that they like to give it, and just be like that is something that people like. I like when you give me information that I want to hear in the format that I want to do it. I become a more likable person. And the AI agent is going to make that achievable. Right. So I think that's the future of what this relationship building looks
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
I'm orchestrating that to happen.
I get you. That makes sense. So, in just a complete side note, because you made me think of it,
Yeah.
something you had said, a real estate agent representing a property. If a buyer comes to them and says, "Can they can double end it?" Do you actually see that helping deals?
I love double ending deals.
So you like it
Yeah,
when that happens.
100%. And I get
Do you
people.
see more of that potentially happening because of tech?
Yeah, I never really understood why people. I get it from incentives because I'm a big Charlie Munger guy, and he
Okay.
says if you want ants to come, put sugar on the floor. Right? Incentives. If you want to figure out why someone's doing something, look for the incentives, and you'll figure out why they're doing it. clearly if someone double ends a deal, they're incentivized to do that because they're going to make more money.
Yeah.
Like that is a true thing. I think the incentive model of how brokers are paid is wrong.
Okay.
Like I don't think commission is the way that brokers should be compensated. I think it should be a different model. And I don't necessarily know what that model is.
Oh, come on.
I know.
That's such a good phrase that
I know.
I want to know what that model is.
Yeah, when I figure it out, I'll tell you because I've played around with the thought process of it. But I think it becomes like there's almost this internal retainer hiring kind of situation where your incentives are aligned with that person achieving the best outcome. That's not where if someone sells a property for $1 million less, like that is so much less of a percentage from my pocket as it is from yours as the seller or the buyer. It's just a completely different thing, which makes the incentives. I'm going to push to get the deal done no matter what, whether that's $10,000 less for me, but it's $1 million less for you. Round numbers, but realistically, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think there has to be a better system for if in general, the way that the brokerage business works from a monetization perspective, and I don't know what that looks like yet, but for sure, I want to double end deals, especially if I can have more access to buyers.
Yeah.
Like if I know who's buying the building, I should get paid more because I did the whole transaction. I didn't need another person.
Well, as an investor going to a property to tell whomever is already kind of attached to the property as a broker or agent, to tell them to double end it, it helps us because we can offer less because they're going to make more.
100%. Yeah. And that's another problem that most residential real estate agents don't really understand. Because like they're like, oh no, I can't represent you as a buyer. Like I won't double end deals. Like,
Really?
it's just not. Oh yeah, so many of them don't double end deals. If there's any residential real estate agents, you'll be like, yep, I never double end deals. It's bad for my client. I'm like, no, getting the deal done is getting the deal not done is bad for your client, right? And why would I, when you're coming to me for the deal that I have, why would I pay someone else to push some paperwork around? Like you're not any value to this transaction. If you had value, sure. Get paid, right?
Yeah.
If you bring a buyer to my deal that I didn't know and they didn't see it and you're the reason that happened, you should get paid. But if you're just getting plugged in to shuffle paperwork around when the buyer was the one who found the deal, like go hire an attorney. You don't need a real estate agent to go and take my money from me, who was the person who was willing to do the work and make the cold calls and make the relationships to earn the listing.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't make any sense to me.
Interesting. It just has me thinking so much about the value, the exchange of value.
Correct.
Throughout the whole process.
It's very hard to figure that out in real estate. It's very hard because there's like, how do you know? A lot of it's nuance. How do you know that I saved that deal? It's really hard to quantify me saving a deal.
Yeah.
Really hard to do that, but it happens all the time.
I feel like there's more, I wouldn't call it, maybe it's called transparency, I would say, in commercial.
Yeah.
Especially big commercial.
Yeah.
Because that's how, people who get referred to as, oh, they're the Michael Clayton of this market. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're the ones that have become that Mr. Wolf, Michael Clayton of saving deals, right? Because you do build your own lore.
Yeah.
But that's an tangible value.
It's hard to quantify.
So do you think creating content helps kind of do that in a way? You know what I mean?
For sure.
In your or in any profession, really?
100%. One, because I get to share my thoughts, and people don't get to see every part of what I do and the nuances of how I think and what I'm learning and constantly trying to improve on my skills. Like people don't get to see that unless you're sharing that with them. And so content gives me a platform to share that. And that resonates with a lot of people because they want to either be like that or they're like, I want to work with someone who is constantly improving themselves or teaching. Oh, I learned something from Taylor. Like I want to work with someone who I learned stuff from. So it's just giving you a bigger surface area to meet the right people who would work with you anyways. They just didn't know about you unless it was for social.
So do you think generational wealth shifts, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like you have to have some platform to humanize what you do, who you are, to the next generation, because the incumbents of any not, I wouldn't say any, forever statements are kind of tough, but the current incumbents, right? They didn't grow up in this environment with this much content, with the clear lines between thought and distribution.
Mm-hmm.
So are you already seeing new generations of the ones taking over that wealth?
For sure.
And do you see them doing deals differently?
Doing deals differently, no. But from an ability of who to find to do those deals, absolutely. A lot
Okay.
of them do reach out to me and listen to podcasts and follow along, and there are more on social media because they grew up with it. It's more a part of their lives, and those are the ones
Is
who,
it a signal that, hey,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
for sure, 100%. It's like celebrity status. Why do people like celebrities? Because it's in something that feels unreachable, or it's this thought process of, oh, I could be like that, or the emotions that they make me feel, whatever it is. It's like, why do humans have celebrities? It's a weird thing to do, right? But like, that's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
psychology of humans. And so there becomes this value, and however you want to portray what value is, whether it's entertainment or education or whatever. But like, when you're giving value to people, they want to give it back to you. And I think social has the ability to, for someone like myself, to give value to people at scale.
So people that you've spoken in the same vertical, such as Grant Cardone,
Yeah.
what are things that you've taken away from talking with them?
If you get enough people to believe in you, you can do anything.
That makes sense as fortune cookie wisdom. Give
Mhm.
me something more. Put some
Yeah, I
depth
mean,
to that
look at
statement.
Grant Cardone. He
Okay.
has grown a $5 billion portfolio off of the backs of social media. Effectively, he's raised all of his capital and money off of the back of social media. $5 billion.
Damn.
Like, that will tell you the powers and the ability of a master salesperson with distribution like social media. Like, it's a multiplier, man. Look at Hormozy. I mean, dude is blowing up, blowing up. He's super smart, super good. Would
His whole
not be,
package works for him,
yeah,
right?
but he would not be as big as he was if he didn't have social media. It just wouldn't.
Yeah,
It
that's
wouldn't
valid.
happen. It wouldn't happen. It's like lighter fluid, right? On a fire. It's just going to accelerate the growth. You have to have the fire there to begin with, aka the skill set and the ability to execute. But the social media is the lighter fluid to make it happen faster.
So what do you think about AI and content creation?
I think it's going to be an accelerant for some people,
Uh-huh.
but at the same time, with all these AI slops and all this kind of stuff, there still needs to be taste, and taste is going to be even more valuable. And if you can create the AI or tune the AI to make tasteful stuff or help you make tasteful stuff, then that'll be helpful. But if you're using it to create new tastes, I think that's going to be super hit or miss. Some
Yeah.
people will crack the code and figure it out, and some people, 99% is not going to be it, because we haven't figured out how to give AI taste yet. Not that it won't, but it's very hard to get that human level of nuance in AI.
Have you tried designing with AI yet?
Yeah, like pitch decks and stuff.
And
Yeah,
what are your thoughts on working with it?
it's getting better.
It's getting better.
Yeah,
It
it's
didn't
getting
set the
better.
bar very high,
No, it
actually.
didn't, but it's getting better. Yeah, it's getting better.
Here, let me see if there's anything
Yeah.
I want to hit. Oh, interesting. Yeah. What do you think about prop tech versus brokers?
I think they can work one and the same. I think every prop tech company is going to try to take out brokers, and every broker is going to want to use the prop tech as much as they can by not giving them as much information as they can. But I think they can work cohesively, and I think they will, until the prop tech gets so good that it takes out the broker, which they all want to do. Everyone's tried, and they haven't been able to do it yet. So it's gonna be a long, long time away. But I'm of the mindset of, someone smart's building this that I can use to be better at my job, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you see the future of that? Do you see that future actually happening sooner or later?
Sooner than people think.
Do you think
Yeah,
regulation will ever step in?
absolutely. It'll have to. Yeah, when there's a lot of money and emotions and people's life savings on the line, which real estate sometimes is,
Yeah.
a lot of people, and I was not a big proponent of regulation, just because I'm more of like a free will kind of guy,
Okay.
ownership kind of guy, extreme ownership, Jocko Willink kind of stuff. But then you realize that there's a lot of people who need regulation for whatever reason. They just, like, the psychology of humans, everyone's unique. They don't have the same skill set. They didn't grow up in the same environment or the same opportunities. Like, there has to be regulation, because a lot of people start at different places on the map, and sometimes it's really hard to overcome that unless there's people willing to step in. And there's too many people in the world for it not to be at least somewhat livable, like somewhat fair to people.
Do you see yourself ever moving out of the United States?
Whew. I don't know. Never say never.
Yeah.
Never say never.
Does it ever cross your mind
Not yet. No. No, my whole family's here, and
in
I'm
Southern California?
no, California in general,
Okay.
Northern California. But I'm a big family guy, so wherever my family is, that's where I want to be. I'm like, there's nothing happier. I'm never more happy than I'm with my family or friends. Like those are my most happy places. So I wouldn't want to get rid of that unless they were there with me.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, is there a question you wanted me to ask that I didn't ask you?
No, no. I think I just yapped for about 45 minutes or however long I was going into that.
Brandon, how long is the app for?
I yapped for an hour straight. I'm getting better at this yapping thing.
You've got your patter down.
I kind of want to slow down sometimes because they say that people who slow down control the room. But
There's
I
only
just
two
get
of
so
us, homie.
excited, man. I know. I get so excited about this shit, dude.
But I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah, thanks for sharing your time.